What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I hope you're all having a very good night tonight. It's new Comic Book Wednesday, and today I was just gonna do this short little live stream because didn't get a chance to go live earlier in the day, and I didn't get a chance to record my video showing off my new comic books that I picked up for this week. Thank you all so much for being here today. I see we've got my man RC Scott in the building, as well as Star Wars MCU-OG. How are you doing? What is up? I hope you're all doing well today here on this new comic book day. And I really don't have a whole lot of new comic books this week. Here, I'm not sure if you guys hear a little bit better, but regardless of all that, I did pick up a few books here. Now, this first one, you guys know, in case you guys know me, I do not do cover buys anymore here on this channel. No going out there and just buying a comic book for the cover. Don't do it. You shouldn't do it. You know what? Buy the comic book because you want to read it. Certainly don't buy it because, you know, you see a nice cover like this and you're like, hey, that's pretty nice. I like that art style and everything on here. I'm going to pick that up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Only I can do it. Only I can do it. And even I myself don't do it. But yeah, I've seen this cover right here from Zenescope. Like, they do a lot of good covers over at Zenescope anyway. But this one right here in particular, I seen, like, man, and I know like some of the green screen is making it where you can't see everything on here necessarily, I'm sure. But for me, it was like the art style and just the colors, the cover, and everything on here was not. Like, I don't know, it's just something very different than from what I see out of there. And I'm not sure who. Let me see if I can open this thing up and see who did this particular cover here. Let me see. It probably doesn't say. It probably says somewhere on here. It's got to. Cover C. I don't know. It's the cover C, done by. Ooh, there we go. Cedric Poulat. I'll see if you can see some of the other covers that they did here for this particular book. And you know what's funny is when I picked this up at the shop, I was like, you know what? One of these days, I'm gonna pick up a Zenescope book and actually read it, because I've actually heard from others that yes, they actually do have some pretty good stories in these books. But I would know because I think I've bought. I think there was one Zenescope book that I bought one time, and I actually read the story. I think. I could be wrong there. But I went ahead and picked that up. I just really thought that, I don't know. That cover just really got me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below if you think that's a pretty good cover. Let me know. Now, the next book I have here, and I haven't got a chance to read any of these quite yet. This next one, I swear I seen somebody maybe on Twitter say to pick this book up. Maybe not. Maybe I just seen it in the previews magazine a couple months ago when this was solicited. But this is Beautiful Soldiers, and you can see some of the greens on there. Beautiful Soldiers here on Scout Comics, and it's part of their non-stop imprint. Which, when they do non-stop, what that means is basically they're releasing this $5.99 book here. Oh, $5.99 book. Cover price on that's $5.99. Okay, they're releasing it for $5.99, and it's basically a preview. You get this one issue to decide if in a couple months you want to get the trade paperback. It will release as basically the whole kind of story or a graphic novel style all in one. It could be 2 months, could be 3 months, could be 4 months from now, could be 6 months from now, whenever they get this book finished and completed and ready to put out in stores. I can't remember, like I said, I can't remember who mentioned this to me, but I thought that cover was pretty fire. I thought that was cover, and maybe that's what drew me to it was seeing that cover. But I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to give this thing a read, probably give it a review here later and see if maybe it's something I like and, talk about it, see if it's something maybe you guys want to put on your previews pull list when this one is getting ready to hit the shelves of comic book shops with the trade paperback version. But the next one I have here is on Boom Studios. This week we've got Grimm. This is issue number 14, I believe. Issue number 14? yeah, issue number 14 of Grimm. This is the A cover right here. I thought was pretty nice, and I went ahead and I picked up the B cover here as well. I thought that was just a pretty nice little variant there. Went ahead and picked this one up, and I realized when I picked this up that I actually didn't read issue 13 of this as well, so I got to go back and read issue 13 and then read number 14 here as well. But you know, Grimm is one of those stories that you know, it's only 14 issues in, but I feel like it started off really good and then it kind of slowed down, and now it started to pick up a little bit of steam again afterward. And I think one of the issues with that is the fact that it's one of those. This was one of those series that I think it originally launched as supposed to be like 5 or 6 issues, and then later they decided, oh, let's make it an ongoing, or at least make it longer than it originally was planned for. This is definitely one of those books, so I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes in the end. I think it's some of Stephanie Phillips' best work that she has done in the indie comic sphere. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was a pretty good one. I think it was been pretty good so far. And then this last book that I have here is one of the books that I have been reading, and absolutely great. And this is going to be the first one of these books that I actually check out reading. We've got 3 different covers here, and this is on AWA Upshot. This is J. Michael Straczynski's The Madness. This one right here has been an absolutely great book. Right here, that's the A cover. This is the B cover right here. Is the B cover, and then we got the C cover, and where it's blanked out there, that's green right there where it says The Madness. It's actually green right there. But yeah, this series has been absolutely great, just through the first 2 issues, and really kind of got me excited, ready to read these next 4 issues after this. And it's kind of this story about this woman who has powers. I've talked about it before. She has these powers. She can use all these different powers. Like, who knows how many different powers she has. Like super strength, super speed. She can fly. She can do whatever. But she can only use one power at a time, which is kind of, you know, I guess how would you say the status quo of this character's powers, which I don't know, is pretty interesting when you think about all the different kind of situations that you might get into being a superhero. Although it sounds like, from what we've read in this book so far, that she's not exactly doing superhero shit. But then when you read like that second issue, they really kind of give you a backstory on this girl and how she got her powers. And it was essentially she got these powers when she was a little girl because, and she had this, what she called her friend, her basically her invisible friend. You know, you got your kids that had that invisible friend they talk to, and you're like, yeah, you need to stop with that. You need to stop with that. But she actually had this other friend who was basically kind of part of her personality, and it almost seemed like Carrie, you know, like the movie, like it's similar to that kind of. But she has these powers, and at one point she's like, okay, you know what, like, how about we play this game basically where you go away until I call upon you, and you know, you could tell like her special friend or whatever is like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here, like, all right. I'll leave you alone. You can have your space, fine, whatever. But whenever you need me again, yeah, just call out Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these, or something. Like, I can't remember exactly what the saying was, but she had this saying that she was going to use, and it turns out she hadn't heard from her in years, and you know, they like left her alone until she got into college and got into this particular incident, which triggered her to say this unique combination of words that made her friend appear at the most opportune time for her, which was a very interesting setup for this book. I have absolutely loved this series so far through the first 2 issues. I cannot wait to read issue number 3 right here. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read The Madness, what you think about it. Let me know if you've read Grimm, what you think about it. And let me know if you've read Beautiful Soldiers. Did you read Beautiful Soldiers? What about Robin Hood? What about that Robin Hood one that you were, wasn't that, yeah, on Zenoscope? Let me know. Let me know, because I really don't know. And I think that one was like a one-shot. I'm pretty sure that one was a one-shot. I could pick it up and check it out. But let me see here. Pretty sure it was, yeah, the Dark Shaman. Robin Hood, the Dark Shaman. I could be wrong if this was if this one was a one-shot or not. Let's see. It usually says here. Maybe it's not. This one might, well, I don't know, because it doesn't say #1 or anything. Maybe it's just that it could just be the first issue of this story arc that they're starting off, because I know they've definitely had this Robin Hood character around. But yeah, that's all I got for my comic books this week. But I did get something else that just came in this week as well, and this is the Werewolf by Night. This is the art of Werewolf by Night, and I know some of the yellows kind of bleeding out there from the green screen that you can't see it, but this one, I've been picking up a lot of these art of books right here, and one of these days I need to sit down and go through some of these guys. Through some of these, probably with like the channel members, but it usually shows like a lot of the just like some of the concept art and everything that they were doing for the show. And a lot of times, there's sometimes little things you can find here and there that hint at things that are happening in the universe that they maybe didn't say in the show, things that are happening kind of for the larger universe. And it kind of makes me wonder. I want to read through here and find out some stuff maybe about the Bloodstone, maybe about Man-Thing, and some of those different things that we didn't really learn about in the Werewolf by Night special presentation. So I think this one would probably be a pretty good read. I think most of them have been, and I think I've got I think I've still got a couple other of these art books waiting at the shop for me. I know one of them is probably the one for Love and Thunder. And what's funny is I don't remember seeing the one from Moon Knight come out yet. Maybe that might be the next one to come out, is the Moon Knight one, which I think that one would have came out first. I could be wrong. But yeah. Like I said, I can't wait to get into this and see what it is, because I think, and I know they're getting ready to release Werewolf by Night, the colored version. Am I allowed to say that? The colored? Am I allowed? I'm not gonna get canceled or anything. Am I? People gonna think I'm some sort of racist for saying the colored version is gonna come out on Disney Plus here. I think next week that's supposed to release, where they're releasing it basically in color. But it'll be interesting to get in there and see what's kind of going on in some of the like some of this kinds of stuff, like tools of the trade, like little things like this, where they're showing off some of the different weapons that they were using in the show. They often show character designs, costume designs, different things like that. I'd like to show you that picture, but I can't with the green screen on. But see, like, see, like, this kind of concept stuff right there. Yeah, I know some of those yellows aren't showing through, but then, like, look at that. Almost looks like Mephisto's sitting there. Like, Mephisto? Is he even in the MCU yet? I don't know. But it'd be interesting to get through here and see what some of the different things they have and different ideas they had that they used, didn't use for the show. You can see some of the designs they have right there. Different costume designs. And so a lot of these books are definitely pretty cool for that. So definitely can't wait to, browse through this book and see what is going on with that. But thank you all so much again for being here today. Let me know down in the comments below what's on you guys' comic book pull list this week. If you have any comic books on your pull list, what you are reading. We'll get here into the live chat and see what everybody is flapping their gums about. Since I've been sitting here flapping mine already for about 15 minutes. Let's see. Like I said, we got RC Scott in the building. StarWarsMCU-OG. We got Dan the Man. Is there ever peacetime? Man, it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like there is, Dan. That's a good question. You're going to read Skybound's Energon universe? And you know what? Probably not. and the reason, like, I don't really read a whole lot of Image comics. I mostly, like, most of the books I read from some of the small, you know what, and honestly, they're, speaking of Skybound, because they're part of Image, they're an Image imprint. Like, Image Comics, like, I always call it the big three. You got Marvel, DC, and Image. I don't really consider Image an indie anymore, because they're pretty big. They've been around for a while. They're well established. And, but I don't really read a whole lot of Image books, to be honest with you, and not because they're bad or anything, but just because so many of the other publishers I'm kind of really I really do enjoy. So I make sure to get all their books, pretty much all their books, like Vault Comics. Love a lot of their books. AWA Upshot. I think I pulled everything from AWA Upshot since they've been out, and let's see. I've been pulling more from like Titan Comics, Blaze Comics as well. So just try, and also just trying to keep my pull list, scaled back a little bit because for a long time there for a while. I mean, I would come home and I would have a stack of like almost 20 books a week. You know what I mean? Like that gets it's pretty ridiculous. And then I scaled it back. It was like about 15 or so. And then I got it to like now it's then I got it to like 10. It was about 10 books a week. And then now I've scaled down to where a lot of times it might be 5 or 6. It might be 5 or 6, which is fine. And one of the other things too is like some of them, I swear I haven't done it yet. But I swear I want to just trade weight. Like Chris from Chaos and Comics, he always talks about doing that. Just waiting for the trade, wait for it to come out, which actually works out really good if you're like into indie comics, whether that's Image Comics, anything, like I said, from Vault, AWA, a lot of these other publishers who do short run limited series, even like Aftershock Comics do shorter runs where you're only getting 5 or 6 issues in a series anyway. They're just doing these short series. Even if you get some of the ones, say it's 20 issues, you can wait for a couple of trade paperbacks at that point, and you're going to save some money. And a lot of them, you get to read the whole story right there at once, and it makes it really nice. But I don't really know what the Energon universe is. I'm not sure which one that is. I'm sure Aglax here, who's here in the building, knows plenty about that. I'm sure he probably knows plenty about it. And guys, make sure you go check out Aggressively Relaxing as well. Oh, dang it. No, that's not what I meant to do. Let me go back there. There we go. Oh, come on. What's going on there? Okay, yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right. But yeah, check out Aggressively Relaxing. He's been going live on these new Comic Book Wednesdays as well. I missed him this week. But yeah, I know the other week he actually even did a live stream, and it was great. I was talking about it last week too. The other week he did a live stream, and he got one of his live spam calls. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. Now let me see if I can get this thing. There we go. Bam. Bam. It should work now. It should work now there, Daniel. I just activated it. Let's see if it's gonna work this week. Let's see if it's gonna work. There we go. You can go subscribe to Aggressively Relaxing. Some very good stuff, and he's a hilarious dude. As a matter of fact, he even did was that earlier this week, Aglax, where you just did your video, well, I guess it wasn't your video. I mean, essentially you found some archive footage before Return of the Jedi came out. Wasn't that what it was? Was it after Return of the Jedi? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know. But yeah, it was a pretty good video. It's hilarious. Dan says, I peeped the ISOM shirt. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll get into a little bit of chat about some of that kind of stuff going on here in a few minutes. I'm pro cover buying. A beautiful print of a piece of art costs like $10 at any downtown festival and doesn't even come with a story. That's true. You're not wrong. Aggressively Relaxing. And sometimes, like, I've bought a couple of art prints from like Coffin Comics when they do some of their Kickstarters, and man, some of those things can be expensive, man, when you get some of those pieces, you know. They really can be. And you're right, they don't come with a story. It's just a piece of art that you got to frame and put on the wall. And you got to buy an expensive frame for to put it on the wall. And it costs a lot. You know how much frames cost these days? Man, frames are expensive. Frames are expensive. And thank you so much for being here, Daniel Fisher, as well. I hope you're doing well. The chat are my invisible friends. Yeah, I hear you. But also, you've got real friends. I've seen you meet up with like Mike Porter before. I know you got to meet up with Mike Porter one time. You guys went and watched a movie, caught a baseball game or two. Yeah, you've done it. Don't act like you haven't. #jelly. Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I want to hang out with Mike Porter. I want to hang out with Aggressively Relaxing and bust his balls in real life. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair. James Jimenez, thank you so much for being here. Says looks freaking awesome. Yeah, it does. Maybe one of these days I'll actually give one of those Xenoscope books a read. I will. I swear I will. Let's see. Daniel Fisher says we're weirdos, as Trin had stated. Some of us are more funny looking than others. Yes, some of us are. You know, and that's okay. You know what? Like, I'm one of those people. Like, I'm kind of more into the non-traditional beauty anyway. You know what I mean? Sometimes, non-traditional beauty. Yeah, you're like, look, I can admire a hot chick. You know, like you look at Scarlett Johansson or a Blake Lively, and you're like, man, like that woman, she's fucking beautiful, man. She's pretty hot. But then also, there's other girls like, who was the girl who played in Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, who was Mr. Ditkovich's daughter? Like, I see her, I'm like, yeah, like she got some very non-traditional beauty. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying. I'm not even. I'll just stop there. I'll stop there. Mainstream comics is an oxymoron. Mainstream comics is an oxymoron. What are you talking about? I never said nothing about no mainstream. I said I call them the big three. The big three. The big three. But you're a moron. Oh wait, is that? Am I right there? I don't know. I don't know. Who is this? Well, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I need to give it a shot. You know what's funny is like I've only let it grow out, and it's getting to the point where it's all kind of annoying anyway. Because I was out working one day, and somebody was like, "Oh, hey, you're growing your beard out," and I just hadn't shaved in a week. I was like, "Nah, I just been lazy." Like, it looks good. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was being lazy one day, and I just didn't shave, and I thought I'd keep it because it looks good." Yeah. No, I need to get rid of it though. It's already getting a little bushy and hairy, and it's kind of. Especially like, because I keep it trimmed up on my neck, but sometimes when it gets to that length and it's just itchy all the time, you're sitting there itching it, and it's just freaking annoying. Like, yeah, it gets there. But thank you so much for being here, T-Rev. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, live spam call. I didn't go live today to show my epic Star Trek Halloween special. Did that come out this week? I don't remember seeing the Star Trek. The Star Trek Halloween special coming out this week. I wonder if it just didn't come in at the shop. It may have just been shorted at the shop and we didn't get it in. But because I don't remember seeing it this week. But let me know, Aglax, did that come out this week? Which I would think it would, because it came out last week and the week before. They had issues. So I mean, it makes sense. Release your Halloween issues during Halloween, right? No, you know what? Maybe I did see one. Maybe I did see it this week. It just wasn't on anybody's pull list. Nah, that's impossible, because there's some people who get all Star Wars titles. All Star Wars titles. Maybe that was the page you didn't print off. Nah, I don't know. I remember. River getting into it with EVS. Getting into it with EVS. I briefly heard EVS talking about something from August about Riververse the other day. Yeah, I don't really know exactly what happened there. Yeah, frames are cheap at Dollarama. Okay, like, I'm in America, Trev. We don't have Dollarama here. We don't have Dollarama, okay? I know you Canadian people got your Dollaramas. We got Dollar General. But also, for like the size of frames that I'm looking for, they're not small frames. I need big frames, and then big frames are expensive, man. They're expensive. Mike has bad knees. Thank you so much for being here. Says outside chaos agents have effectively come in and split the community. Well, you know what? Mike has bad knees. Not only that, but like even like people in the communities have seemed to come in and do the same thing. You know what I mean? And we'll get into a little bit more of that here in just a minute. Thank you so much for being here. Mike has bad knees. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, dollar stores. Yeah, I can't find the size of frames I'm looking for at dollar stores, man. Otherwise, I would. Brian McCann says, hey, I'm wearing my shirt too. Awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for the promotion. The year is 1996, and I'm talking about all the competing Star Wars extended universes to make fun of people who talk about the EU like it was one thing. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I just couldn't remember what year it was. But yeah, okay. It was 96, so it was after Return. It was in that golden era when we had just, well, Star Wars. You know, and then they had to go and ruin Star Wars with The Empire Strikes Back. Then they had to ruin it even further with Return of the Jedi. I don't know what they were thinking. I know what they were thinking. They were thinking they wanted to make money, but it was a dumb boneheaded decision. You know what I mean? It was dumb and boneheaded. Are we gonna finish reading the Moon Knight Omnibus? We need to. Now I'm at the point I've got so many omnibuses. We need to read something. Like I'm like one of these days. Maybe that's what I'll start doing for some of the member streams. Is I'll be like, okay, like guys, what do we want to read this week? And I'll put up some polls, and we will go through and we'll read some of the certain books together. Because I mean, I'm telling you, like I've got like the first like 4 or 5 volumes. What is it? 5 volumes, I think, of the original Avengers run. I got 3 volumes of the Thunderbolts. I've got volume 1 and 2 of Moon Knight. I've got the Mark Spector Moon Knight, which was the one that Chuck Dixon did. I've got the Black Widow omnibus, the Ms. Marvel omnibus. I got Alpha Flight just came in this week. I mean, plenty that we could sit there and read through, and we can just read like 1-2 issues at a time out of them. You know, like we could do that. We could do that, little at a time. Yeah. But yeah, it sounds like fun. We need to do that. I hear you about the beer trend. Yeah, I know. At some point, it's like at one point it gets kind of annoying, and then eventually it gets kind of beyond that length, and it's like, okay, it's not so bad. Which is just, it's always right here on the neck, but it's where I usually keep it trimmed up, so it kind of keeps me, Yeah, I'm thinking of rewatching all the Stargate TV series again. I mean, if you're into that, do it, man. I just, like, you guys know me, I'm not really into the TV series. Just, like, because it's a show. It's just, like, constantly going on. It's just, like, to get you to watch the next show, the next season, the next year. Like, and they just drag you on. I'm just not into that so much. Yeah, Star Trek 3 has dropped today. Okay, all right. I thought so. Yeah, I think maybe I did see a couple issues of it there. It just wasn't on anybody's pull list, which was weird. Maybe the people who do normally pull all the Star Trek, maybe they just said, you know what, I don't want the Halloween issues. They might have said that. But oh, guys, tomorrow is a new episode of Loki. So tomorrow I will be watching that. Probably won't go live after that. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go live afterwards. Share kind of my thoughts. If not, I might do that on Friday. And that's something else. Something else I need to update. Like I was talking the other day, I did a members stream, members only stream, where I was talking about some of the times changing for our live streams. Where I was talking about Monday mornings we're going to do a live stream. Wednesdays we're going to do a live stream here talking about the new comic books. And then on Friday, instead of doing the Trailer Park Live on Friday, I was going to do it on Saturday, which I may still keep to that. But that was, because I started this part-time job, and so it kind of switched my schedule up a little bit. But my days changed as well. I was going to be doing Tuesdays through Saturdays, but now I'm doing Monday through Fridays. So some of that may change. The Mondays will probably keep, but it might be, instead of being morning, it might be late afternoon or evening for you, or I guess, yeah, probably late afternoon if you're one of our viewers out on the East Coast. And Wednesdays, I'll probably try to make earlier than I am right now, because right now I'm pretty much at the end of my day. And then Fridays, if I don't do the trailer, if I decide not to do the Trailer Park Live still on Fridays, we'll and keep the members on Fridays and then do Trailer Park Live on Saturday. I mean, we may switch back and forth with those. Maybe we'll do the member stream on Saturday and do the Trailer Park Live back on Fridays. I might, but I don't know because like at this point on Fridays, I'm pretty dead tired by the time it gets to the end of the night, and want to hit some of those group rides on Saturday mornings, which so I might have a little bit more energy on a Saturday afternoon or so. But that's the hard thing is like, because no matter what, I always seem to I seem to get worked up on those Friday nights, right? Like Friday nights is the perfect time to just like let it all out. I don't know. We'll have to see. TBD, right? Isn't that what they say? TBD. Yeah, yeah. We have Dollar Tree. Yeah, we have Dollar Tree, but we don't have dollar. What do you say? Dollar. You know what I'm saying? Dollar. Whatever. Whatever it was. If you don't have dollar, if you. Oh, okay. Here we go. Dollar Store, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and more here in Florida. Yeah. Five Below. We got Five Below. How many different extended universes were there in the 90s? Were there in 96? You know what? That I don't know. Aglax would be definitely the one to ask. Dark Horse and the books. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say definitely the books. Definitely the books. I have been rereading my Planetary omnibus. Okay. Which one? What's Planetary? I've never heard of it. Is that... Should I... Am I losing my nerd card for that? I'm not sure I know that what Planetary is. Omnibus Sundays? Maybe so. We might be able to do it on Sundays. I was gonna say if not, like we'll find a good day. We could probably do it then. I got my 3 Jeff Johns Flash omnibuses coming in Friday. Nice. I think that's one of the ones I heard was pretty good. Who's great is Gem Mint Collectibles. He's been doing some videos lately talking about omnibuses. Excellent videos about what's the worst omnibus you've ever read, and then he did what's the best omnibus you've ever read as well. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. I've never read any Moon Knight. Oh, Moon Knight's great, man. I love the Moon Knight comic books. I picked up that first omnibus because the show was coming out in the MCU. I'm like, hey, I want to learn about Moon Knight. I better learn about him before the show comes out. And then I read that omnibus. I'm like, dude, like freaking Moon Knight's pretty badass. I like the original run that they did with him, and even some of the stuff leading up to his run as well. Because like he was in Werewolf by Night. Then he was like a Marvel Spotlight on, and then there was like another one of those kind of things too. He did some 2-in-1s. He did some issues in Hulk magazine, and then eventually he got his first series. And man, I'm telling you, it was great, really great stuff. Art by Bill Sienkiewicz, absolutely great stuff. Writing by Bill Sienkiewicz, Doug Mink, yeah, very good stuff. Yeah, the Moon Knight's definitely worth checking out. You ever use in-stock trades? No, you know what? I can't remember where it was. I think I've ordered maybe one or maybe 2 omnibuses from one of the online retailers that are like 50% off cover price. I think I've ordered like 2 of them. I think one of them was the all new Wolverine, just because they had it at a really good price. It was like 40. It was like no, I think I paid 40. I think it was 60% off. That and I think it was the Captain America Lives omnibus, which was the not Rick Remender, but come on, who reinvented like Captain America with the Winter Soldier. All of a sudden, Brubaker, a Brubaker run, because I couldn't find the one I was looking for in the comic shops, that particular cover or dust cover, I guess. And I ordered that one. Yeah, or CGN. No, I haven't used CGN. Sounds great. All right, yeah, hell yeah. I have Powers nearly complete. Sony did a TV series based on it. Okay, right on. I've never read Powers either. Yeah, but okay, yeah. Daniel was thinking about doing some Stargate rewatch as well. Yeah, do a live watch party. You know what, Brian McCann? You know what's funny is I can't do that at this point. I can't do a live watch party because if I do that, like, I made fun of people doing that the other day, right, on Twitter, and like I can't make fun of people for doing watch parties and call them a bunch of weirdos. There's people who sit around and watch other people watch shows while watching a show. Like, how are you supposed to pay attention to a show while you're watching a show and while you're watching a live show? That's not how it works. It's stupid. I don't know why people do it. So I can't make fun of people for doing it and then do it myself. That'd be hypocritical. And I would never want to do that. I never want to be hypocritical. I've never done that in my life. Been hypocritical, I mean. I wouldn't want to do that. It just seems weird. I've done one here one time and it just felt weird. I don't know. Like, I just want to sit down and watch the show. Like, I'm one of those people, like, you know, like when you sit down, you know, watching a show or a movie, like, sit down, shut up, let's watch this show or movie, right? You know, I'm the guy in the theater who will yell if you're being loud as shit, you know, having that conversation, acting like it's fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000. I've told people to shut up. Of course, one time I was at the movie theater and somebody took their baby in there and the baby started crying and the people were obviously just not, you know, just like completely saying fuck this audience, and they're sitting there in the theater with their baby crying, and I was getting ready to say something, but then somebody else yelled out, "Shut that fucking kid up!" And I was like, oh damn, like, you know, and there was a couple people clapping and the person got up and walked out, but I was like, hey, I was getting ready to, buddy. I'm glad you did instead of me. Thank you. You did us a service. I know I'm terrible, but you know what? Fuck them. Like, my kids were never loud at the theater. My kids were always quiet, sit there and watch it, they shut up, even if they weren't watching it. They've always been good. Yeah. I watched 12 minutes of Loki, and that was all I could handle. It was so boring. He says, Mike has bad knees. If you're talking about season 1, absolutely. Even the second season, it's been a little better. For me, it's mostly, and I've talked about this before last week, it's the acting, man. The acting in the show from some of the people who are somewhat main characters, they just don't do it for me. They can't do it. They're doing that smell the fart acting. I have an elliptical exercise machine from the set of Powers. Even my workout equipment is comic memorabilia. Nice, Aglax. Hell yeah. SG1, SGA, SGU never gets old. Stands up the test of time. Nice. Yeah. Some shows do, man. I like Seinfeld. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics famously worked with the Andersons books, but Zahn didn't care about them. But Zahn worked with most of Anderson's stuff, and then you had the video games contradicting stuff. Oh, yeah, those damn video games. They'll mess it up every time. For episodic TV series, just jump in. No need to worry about overreaching storylines that dominate a series season to season. Oh, yeah. I think somebody was telling me about Black Mirror, and they said it was like that, too. It was like just like kind of like a one-shot kind of thing. Like, yeah. Planetary was a 27-issue run by Warren Ellis and Cassidy, and two crossovers with DC, one with Justice League and one with Batman. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. But it was a Windstrom book. Okay. Nice. Okay, 99, 2000-ish. All right. Good deal. Early Moon Knight is great. The 2000s era kind of sucks in my humble opinion, says Brian Mccann. Yeah, I know at some point, you know, like, I bought the one, like, they kind of, I guess you could say, somewhat based the show off of the Lemire version. When that Lemire version, I'm like, I don't know. Just the show, that wasn't Moon Knight. All of it ignored the Han Solo Lando trilogies, Christmas special, and NPR audio dramas. All of it ignored the first novelization, says Aglax. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's passionate about it, folks. Not toxic. He's not toxic about it. He's passionate. I've been buying omnibuses from Amazon for around $10, $15. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Yes, you can do it, Trinity. We watch you react to it live. It's fun. I don't know. But I don't really react. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really react. I just sit there like sitting there watching me watch a show is just me doing this. I know you're not supposed to have dead air, but this is what I do. You know, that's it. You know, it's kind of boring. When I'm at home, I will definitely talk through a movie, not in public, though. Oh, man. You're one of those people? We're going to get in a fist fight. Mike at home, Mike has bad knees. No, but really, like, yeah, I mean, It kind of depends, but for the most part, if it's a movie I've seen 100 times, yeah, probably so. But a lot, like if I'm watching a movie at home, it's like, sit down, shut up, let's watch this movie. I'm constantly having to tell my kids when we're at home, shh. Black Mirror has some really fun background continuity. All right, okay, so it is kind of like Ice Cream Man. It is kind of like Ice Cream Man. Yeah, TV Moon Knight is based on the late 90s, 2000s era Moon Knight books. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess sort of. They use some of the concepts, I guess. React Moon Knight summons the enchanted underwear. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I really don't have much more other than talking about just covering some of the things we've talked about before. Probably definitely talk more about this on the Trailer Park Live this weekend. And that's just all the division in the comic books community, man, that's been going on. In case you guys in case you've been living under a rock, or maybe you just don't follow these people and don't care. Obviously, a lot of the drama with like Isom. I dropped a short on the channel here. Was that yesterday? Day before yesterday? I dropped a short. Maybe that was Saturday. A short where I was kind of making fun of a lot of the situation going on, because in case you guys don't know, Eric July is currently got a lawsuit filed against him for the word for Isom, because there's this church here in Southern California that has a trademark for the word Isom, but trademarks fall under a lot of very specific things and laws regarding those things. And of course, and I talked about this the last time when this report essentially first came out about all this drama going on with it, that a bunch of internet lawyers like myself who went to Google Law, you look up one thing, but you kind of just basically browse through it and don't really poke into anything and learn about everything. Well, at that time, if you went and watched Eric D. July's video that he did on his channel earlier, was that here over the weekend? Maybe just going into the weekend or whatever, where he was talking about this lawsuit that was filed and kind of the ins and the outs of what's going on with him in this the ministry. Everything that he basically covered in that video is the exact same shit I talked about on a live stream about a month ago, a little over a month ago. I mean, like, you would almost think he went and watched my video and said that shit, but like obviously he's got his lawyer team and all that shit, and they kind of made sense of it. But like basically saying the exact same thing I said, where the trademark laws fall under these very specific things within specific industries, where he's in the entertainment and comic books industry, where they are doing educational content, different things like that. And it's just like McDonald's, for instance. McDonald's, as far as I looked up from the trademark, McDonald's restaurants don't have McDonald's trademarked. They certainly have the Golden Arches trademark, like and I was talking to somebody else about this, when you watched Coming to America, how they're McDonald's, they have the Golden Arches. We're McDowell's, we have the Golden Arcs. They kind of copied everything, but it's a little bit different to not infringe on that trademark. And there's a lot of these things that are very industry specific. Like you could have say McDonald's did have McDonald's trademarked. You could have a McDonald's tax service, a McDonald's concrete link, like within different industries, depending on, unless McDonald's restaurants, whatever, honestly trademarked it for fast food, for tax and accounting services and just shit like that. Like it covers very specific things. And looking into those things, I looked and I'm like, like I said, I went to Google Law and I'm like, man, I don't see any violation of the trademark law here. I do understand. And that's one of the things I was talking about in the stream. And again, I actually even had a couple comments that we'll probably cover on a little bit more this weekend of people who come on. And it wasn't even a hater. It was somebody who seemed like they were being pretty reasonable and saying like, hey, man, you're wrong here, this and that. I'm like, yeah, they had some pretty measured responses. But the thing is, this person went to Google Law just like myself. But the thing is a lot of times we pick and choose what we want to see, what we want to hear. But looking into this whole thing, there's no confusion here. They're in different industries. We're talking about shirts here that are obviously easy, just very, I guess, not easy, but hard to mistake one for the other when it comes to certain things like that. But we're going to probably respond to some of those comments that I got in that video. If you guys want to go check out that live stream from, I think it was about a month ago on the Trailer Park Live, I talked about that. But just some of those little disputes that really ultimately came out because some people, some detractors or some haters of Eric July, kind of went out there and brought attention to this thing. Which, look, and that's the other thing that I even kind of covered in that video as well. Like, look, I understand if you're a supporter of Eric July or, whatever. I guess the thing is you're either a supporter of Eric July, because I doubt you're a supporter of the International School of Ministry, or this church here in Southern California who has this trademark. I doubt anybody's a fan of them or one of the supporters, like that's not how that organization works. But the thing is you're either a fan of his or you're not. And, regardless of any of that, like, you don't have to go out there and sit there and fight with everybody about these arbitrary things that we don't even know about, because we're all just internet lawyers here, until everything comes out. And, one of the things I was talking about, I seen on, I seen a lot of the reactions after this lawsuit really came to a head, like it's actually been filed and they got notice, is people, and I see it online. And, and one of the things I was talking about with people, and that's something like, what limits to how much is somebody culpable for what fans or somebody in somebody's audience does. Like, if, say, I'm here, something happens, how culpable am I for anything you guys do in my, like defending my honor, like trying to take my side, like getting online and being a dickhead to other people and putting them on blast for whatever. Like, I would tell you never to do that. I would never ask that of you or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I would say, just like, oh, I got this issue with it. Like when I got hit by that car, right? And I was going through my lawsuit. Like, I didn't get on here and say, hey guys, I got hit by some bitch in a fucking car and her name is this and that. You guys should go fucking find her online and harass her and give her a fucking heart. I wouldn't ever do that. I would never ask you to, even if I had all the information, say, hey, go check this person out. And, like, on the off chance that you guys are going to go do that, because some weirdo out there will probably be like, you know what, fuck this person, and go out there and and I'm not, I'm not responsible for what you do. I'm not here trying to rile you up. Nobody's doing that. I've never seen Eric do that with any of his stuff, but you see people out there doing it anyway, and by that same token, does somebody have to go out there and say, don't do something? That's absolutely ridiculous. We're grown. Okay, I was going to say we're grown adults, but we're for the most part, like, we're old enough that, when somebody's doing something, you don't have to go out there and do anything. You don't have to get on, like, I seen on Twitter, all these people, like, attacking this organization, saying, oh, you fucking people, and some people not so outrageous, saying, like, man, this is ridiculous. You don't have to go out there and say nothing. Like, it doesn't matter, like, these people are, and that's one of the things I have, like, this church is filing this lawsuit. I have zero problems with them filing this lawsuit because they believe that their trademark has been infringed upon. There's nothing wrong with that. I will say that it does seem a little stupid to do that without doing some sort of investigation to see if it's worth your time and money to investigate and file that lawsuit and spend the money getting your lawyers to go do any of that and take it to litigation, because I feel like ultimately they're wasting their time. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a fan. That was one of the things somebody else brought up. Like, I wouldn't, if somebody's doing something wrong, they're doing something wrong, and they will, have to pay their fine or their fees or whatever it is, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but in this case, everything I've looked up, I don't think there's any violation here. I think he's pretty in the clear. But regardless of all that, like, I'm not just, defending, going out and breaking the law and shit. Like, I just don't do any of that, right? And if he's wrong, he's wrong. I'm willing to admit that, and, like, I got no skin in that game, right? It's not my business. It's not your business. It's not anybody else's business to. You can have an opinion, absolutely. But it's nobody else's business to go out there and say something to these people or whatever. Like, it's nobody else's business but the two parties involved. And I do see a lot of that mudslinging going on online with, like I said, people going to this ministry, leaving comments on their page, on the post that they put up, and all this kind of stuff. Like, you don't need to do that. All you're doing is, you're just kind of being a dickhead, and you're making everybody else look like dickheads. Like, you get a few of them on there. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? You get the loud motherfuckers that are out there making everybody else look bad, when most of the people that I know that are within certain communities that I, am in, and like I said, certainly not everybody, make the rest of them look bad, You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some of this other stuff with all this other division, some of the other things that have been going on in the indie comics community. Like, we've seen some of the division with, like, EVS and Eric July, some of that stuff going on here lately. And, like, you know, just a whole bunch of people getting involved with this whole mudslinging fucking bullshit. Like, it's completely pointless, it's completely stupid. You don't have to pick sides. You can support this guy, you can support that guy, you can like this guy's books, you can like this guy's books, and nobody fucking cares. It's nobody else's business what you like. If you like it, enjoy it, and that's it. You don't have to convince somebody else that they have to like it. You don't have to tell them to fuck off because they don't. It's unnecessary. And we can see kind of what's going on here with all this division and everything that's going on out there. It's okay for other people to like whatever the fuck they want to like. And it's okay for you to have your opinion on them. Like, you can not like the fact that they like it, or they don't like it, or whatever. That's fine. But you don't have to sit there. And I see this shit constantly on fucking, especially on Twitter, because I don't really get on Facebook or anything. But like, everybody acting like a bunch of fucking weirdos over fighting over this and that, and oh, you don't like this, you don't like that, trying to convince each other. You're not going to convince that other guy across the way to just shut up or leave so and so alone or do anything like that. You're not going to convince him. So why would you even waste your time sitting there fucking arguing with them? You know, and that's one of the things I've seen online too. You know, like I seen yesterday the guy from Ripaverse Goalposts that has, you know, it's his page on Twitter where he's like, oh man, I said I don't want to get involved in the escalation of any of this drama between these people, this, that, like, but like, dude, your whole page is based on escalating drama. And, you know, like, he kind of took offense to it. I'm like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what you're doing is you're highlighting other people's bullshit. And what's that do? I mean, that's escalating their drama. You're highlighting it. That's fucking the definition of it. You're highlighting their drama. You're escalating that drama. That's not saying that you're telling people to go out there and be assholes to these people or anything like that, or that you're even fighting with them. You're just sharing somebody else's video and saying, look at this fucking idiot, basically, right? But that's still escalating it. That's not, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not bad, but it can do bad things for a community because you can see how people act online, the way they're interacting with others about the same thing. You know, like the person you're talking about feels like they're being put on blast. Their associates and their friends feel like you're putting them on blast. And essentially, you also are bringing negative attention to those people from other people who don't agree with them. And it's okay to have discussions and all of that stuff. But ultimately, and people keep arguing with me about this, that like it is escalating drama. Somebody tried to tell me it's just a label. No, like, it's drama. No matter what fucking way you cut it, the word drama has a goddamn meaning, and what you're doing is exactly that. You're escalating. You're highlighting that shit. That's exactly what the fuck it is. And look, that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. I go to that page and I laugh at some of the stupid bullshit that's going on out there, and I keep fucking scrolling. Half the time I don't even comment. You know, for a while I followed the page, and, like, you know, it's like, I eventually unfollowed it because I'm like, I'm going to see this shit on my newsfeed anyway. I don't really give that much of a shit about all these fucking weirdos and what they think. I have my opinions. They have theirs. And that's perfectly fine. I don't need to fight with them about their opinions or what they think about whatever. You know? Like, so many times online, like, people just need to learn to let it go. It's okay. Let that dickhead be a dickhead. You don't have to be a dickhead just because they're a dickhead. You know what I mean? I mean, unless you are a dickhead. But even then, even if you are a dickhead, you don't have to be a dickhead to them or anybody else. You can just be a dickhead, right? But I've seen that, and then I also seen there's other drama going on in the comics community as well. Like, I've seen kind of regarding around some of this same drama, like with Eric July, with the people from Niobe Comics, who were saying, like, oh, you came, you know, you're asking for our support and you don't contribute nothing to us, you're not highlighting creative. And, you know, Eric even did a video about that today, talking about that kind of stuff. Like, nobody owes you their support. You don't, like all the reciprocation, all this bullshit. Like, look, like, that's just not how it is. You can build your own audience. You can collaborate with others, work with others, and things like that. It's not required or anything like that. But then today I just seen another video released by Isaac Bell here on YouTube, who is the creator of Metal Shade. Absolutely great creator, good writer, good artist. Him and his wife have been working on some books and some very nice stuff. One I talked to you guys about, like the Metal Shade, but also Shrine. They're getting ready to launch one on Monday as well for, man, what book is it? I can't remember the name of the book right off the top of my head. But he even posted a video today too, where there's these other people out there who are starting this whole little like kind of comics news imprint, talking about comic news and stuff like that. And apparently they leaked some of his DMs because he didn't want to do a cover with them, just some of this stuff, just some unnecessary drama out there. And he's like, man, look at what these people did. Like, it's a bunch of bullshit. And just people being childish and not wanting to get along. And look, that's just how people are. Not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody's going to agree with each other, see eye to eye. And that's perfectly fine. But when you see a lot of this stuff out there, you see so much childish behavior from people. It's like, man, it's not that big a deal. You're making it a big deal. And I'm not talking about Isaac in this case. He's just saying like, hey man, look, like people came to me and they're kind of like treating me, they blocked me, they're talking all this shit. Like, I never even said nothing bad to them. I just said no to doing a cover or an art piece for them, and that's it. There's always, and that's the thing, is like when it comes to creators, whether they're artists, writers, and this and that, a lot of these people are eccentric. A lot of them have egos and things like that. A lot of them are sensitive, and ultimately, I'll say, shit, I'm a creative myself as well. Is most creatives are fucking weirdos. All right, they're fucking. Everybody has their weird quirks in the first place. Not everybody in the world is meant to be friends, but it's just so funny seeing so much of this division going on online here lately between all these people. And it's like, man, y'all kind of occupy the same space. You don't have to get along. You don't have to be friends. And you certainly don't have to be dickheads to each other and try to be calling each other out and one-upping the next guy and all that bullshit. It's completely fucking unnecessary. Most people don't care. And it really does nothing good for anybody. It does nothing good for anybody, right? And, I'm not sitting here trying to say like, oh, we need some positivity or anything like that, because positivity is bullshit. But you know what's not bullshit? Is negativity. Negativity isn't bullshit. That shit spreads like fucking wildfire. Positivity don't, because positivity is bullshit. You know what you can do is be enthusiastic. You can be upbeat. But spreading positivity and all that, that's just not how it works. What you can do is, stop doing stupid shit. Stop saying dumb shit. Stop thinking dumb shit. Stop believing dumb shit. And kind of dispel some of those things out there. But none of that equals positivity. The positivity movement is a bunch of bullshit. But ultimately, the thing is people are allowed to like what they want to like. They're allowed to have their own opinions. And yeah, you're allowed to discuss them and talk about them, and that's perfectly fine. But even in some of this, like I said, I even had this post that I shared from the Rip Reverse Goal post the other day. Like people are obviously, saying other mean, negative stuff to him, whatever. But like, look, the guy is posting all this stuff, highlighting these opinions of these other people who obviously some of us don't agree with, we don't feel the same, but ultimately all that's doing is exacerbating an online problem and creating negativity in the community and stirring up the shit between others. It's only getting people to sling mud at each other, and whether that was your intentions or not, Mark with the C actually put a really good response to my post on there when I shared it after he had responded to it. Talking about exactly that, like, yeah, maybe you went into it with the best intentions thinking you're doing all this, but you know what, and it caused some negativity, and you're probably realizing that at this point, you know what I mean? And and look, you don't owe anything to anybody. You don't, nobody's I'm sure there's some people telling you to stop this and apologize to so and so. You don't have to do all that. You can continue doing what you're doing, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, I laugh at plenty of shit. This poster posts on their goddamn page and all this shit. But for me, it's ultimately not for me, because for me, like I said, for one, I don't really give a fuck about most of these people they're highlighting. These weirdos are allowed to have their fucking opinions and do whatever weird shit they're doing, all without me giving a fuck, because I don't. It's okay. People are allowed to have their opinions. People are allowed to be dickheads. But at some point, there does come points where some people are crossing lines. And we have seen recently where some people are starting to cross some of those lines. And it's getting pretty out of hand. And, you know, some people treat it like a joke, and maybe it is all just a joke to try to be a rebel rouser and, you know, just cause some drama. But Holy, it's really unnecessary.
Look at the fun I made.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lego.
But a lot of it is wholly unnecessary. And, you know, you see so many people partaking in it, slinging mud for whatever side they're on, and you don't need to do that. You know, you're only, you know, like in any of these creators, whether it's EVS or Eric or Niobe Comics or Isaac Bell or any of these other creators out there, writers, publishers, artists, you don't need to go out there and defend these people. These people can defend themselves if they need to. But for the most part, it's okay for these people to have whatever opinions, do whatever, you know. Most of these people are just online bitching and trying to pick at each other and trolling each other. That's it. That's it. And you don't have to ignore them either. But that's not to say you shouldn't pay attention because, like I said, we do see some people who are getting a little out there with their jokes and stuff like that. And maybe taking it a little too far. I don't know. I don't know anybody's intentions. How can I know anybody's intentions? All I can do is know what I see and take the feeling from there. I will say I've spent a lot of time working with and managing people, learning to read people's body language, their tone, how they're carrying themselves, even through text, seeing what people are typing. And I'm pretty good at fucking reading people. My radar is not usually ever very far off. But, you know, that's just if you ask me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'll get here into the live chats, and we'll bring this live stream to an end. Oh, I see we got Mike Porter in the house. We've got Eric the Guapo in the building as well. Who else has joined us? Okay, let me scroll back here a little bit. Okay, here we go. Eric Guapo in the building. Says Old McDonald had a farm. Yeah. I'll probably get a copyright claim for that. McDowell's. McDonald's. Yeah, McDowell's greater than McDonald's. Yeah. Don't fight about things we don't know, but what will we do on Twitter then, right? Right. Well, you know, like I laugh. I laugh at a lot of this silly shit. I mean, that's what I'll do. I'll laugh. I'll be J. Jonah Jameson it. Which, by the way, that meme you sent me the other day, hilarious. That meme you tagged me in, fucking hilarious. I was dying about that. The fucking shoe like J. Jonah Jameson. Now, Brian McCann, they actually have. Their trademark is for ISOM, not an acronym, not with the dots in there. The trademark is that, but even then, all the ins and outs of it, I don't really think they have much of a grounds. We got Mike Porter in the building saying what's up. Just got home. All right, nice. Where were you at, Mike Porter? The woman who hit you, was she hot? No. Actually, she was an old lady, older, I guess, not old, but. My who I side with completely depends on that. So if she was hot, had some big chi-chis, you might be like, hey, you know, like I think I'm on her side. Fuck you, Trinity. That's funny. I like it. That's, you know, hey, that's a man with I don't know, a great thought process. You are definitely not responsible for the weird shit I get up to. Exactly, Aglax. Exactly. Don't leave a note saying I am either when you do it. Turner was missing you earlier. Yeah, I was. Yeah. Welcome home, Porter. Yes, he is, Aglax. Fucking Philadelphians, am I right, Porter? Yeah, exactly. Philadelphians. Hi, Brian McCann, Daniel Fisher. I feel like I'm home and meeting my friends I have known for 3 years now. Yeah, I know, man. It's been so long. Yeah, you know, I'm getting ready to hit my, 5 years? 5 years here pretty soon. 5 years. No mudslinging, but you can push some dirt around. Yeah. Well, or I guess, you could pour some water in the dirt and create some mud. Yeah. Just curious, since I don't know that church, do they outwardly heavily pros, proselytize? Proselytize? Some people mean well by spreading the word, even if it's not reflective of what they preach. You know what? I don't know. That I don't know. I do not know that. Trademark-wise, Stone Brewing is a winning suit against Keystone Light, branding their cans as Stone. Had way more behind it, in my opinion. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. I'm almost surprised they're not owned by the same company. The same company seems to own most of the beer companies. But yeah, that's interesting. Um, yes, what book does this church read? Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, the book of Daniel. That's a trip. Am I right? I'm willing to bet the church's font is nowhere near the font of that T-shirt, for example. It's not even Echo. Yeah, no, not even close. Like, not even close. That's why I did that short. That short I did on the channel the other day. Like, it's like you would have to be an idiot to confuse it. You'd have to be a complete idiot. Just like having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a combination on your luggage. Check out Punisher Frankencastle book. It's a story. Oh, okay. My only problem is it's wrapped up quick to a new big event storyline. Check out Punisher War Machine. Yeah, I definitely want to check out the War Machine's the Punisher War Machine line, because that's where he gets the Iron Man armor, right? Or the War Machine armor. Yeah, I've been meaning to read that one because it sounds good. It sounds good. Plus the writer on that was man, I can't think, but it was a good writer too, wasn't it? Yeah, unfortunately Philadelphia is a real good team this year. All right. I'm not lying. It's a good time. Naiubi is a weirdo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really know him. I think I bought like 1 or 2 of the books because they had them published through Antarctic Press at my LCS. I think I picked them up to check them out. I haven't got a chance to read them yet, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know him. We are just studying chapter 6 and the Lion's Den. All right. It is still objectively funny. Rippa is doing the Christian rock model in the world of comic books, backed up by Glenn Beck, but this particular lawsuit is still pretty weak, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think it is, but yeah. Someone had to check out Punisher War Machine recently, too. Brian Mccann may have to check it out. Yeah. I've heard it's really good, though. Can't think of better support than hiring people and giving them jobs. Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Giving them jobs. Creating a company. Chapter 5 had the writing on the wall. What? I'm not even sure what you're talking about, Mike Porter, but that's funny. Yeah, Punisher inside of Shield knockoff version of War Machine. War Machine War, very good storyline. Yeah. Mike Porter, yep, I'm weird. Yeah, I'm supporting the Phillies also now. If the Braves didn't win, it's because they were beaten by the best team. Oh, all right. Trading sides here, huh? Yeah. I think that written word would freak anyone out, in my opinion. Oh, the written. Oh, okay. You guys are talking about. Oh, talking about something else again. Wait, positivity is what? They could upgrade Punisher into being the next Deathlock cyborg, and it would sell comics. I mean, it'd be interesting for sure. Community. Yeah. I see what you did there. I remember even in Josh's chat one day, I was like, ooh, like somebody has the word unity trademarked, Better look out, Josh. Why did sobered up that king, and hours later Babylon fell. Oh, okay. Yeah. More like communicate, am I right? Yeah. Mike has bad knees. That's one of my things around here is like when it comes to the word community, that's kind of one of the ongoing jokes is everybody makes fun of me about the community because I laugh a lot at the word community for a lot of reasons. because, you know, I mean, if you ask me, there's a lot of communities out there, right? Are you part of the community? The community. That's funny. Positivity is real. It's kind of my thing. Well, I mean, you can be positive. You could try to be, you know, but, you know, Mike Porter. But you're not toxically positive. Yeah, you're not toxically positive, Mike Porter. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're the real thing when it comes to yeah, there you go. Exactly. Exactly. And I wouldn't even say it's positive. I wouldn't even say it's just you're enthusiastic, right? You're enthusiastic. That's what I would say. Which is a positive thing. That's good. Imagine if Punisher went to Power Broker and got the U.S. Agent Battlestar augmentation. Power Punisher. Yeah, there you go. Write the book. Write the book. Submit it. Submit that script. The community has no unity, and they are spilling the tea. That's my favorite Dr. Seuss book. Oh, all right. Two Gun Pedro, pew pew. He says, "I support your weirdness." Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh man, it's getting late. Dennis Fisher, so you are you are the real thing. Yeah. Just want to show out I love comics and comics adjacent stuff. Yeah, exactly. I was at Bible study. It's cool. There's 4 of us. We talk about prayer requests and slowly read the Bible a verse at a time. Reading, Daniel. It takes a month for our group to get through a chapter. All right. You know what, man? Like, you guys, in case you guys don't know, like, I'm not a believer myself. But that's not to say that I don't believe in the word, what they're talking about. You know, because essentially, what are we talking about here? We're talking about stories to tell people to not be assholes, to be good people, but also telling about the stories about good and evil and how evil creeps into even good people, right? I mean, that, like, a lot of those stories I'm down with. And as a matter of fact, that's why I support my man Maverick Pilgrim. And I'm sure, Mike Porter, I know I've seen you in the chats a couple times. You guys gotta go support Maverick Pilgrim. I need to get his link in here too, for Maverick Pilgrim's channel. It's definitely down in the description of this video. But you guys gotta go subscribe to Maverick Pilgrim. On most Sundays, he goes live and kind of does his little sermon. And the way he presents it all is absolutely fucking great. Love Maverick Pilgrim and what he's doing over there on his channel. I really wish that I could get everybody here in this chat right now, if you're not subscribed to Maverick Pilgrim, to go and do that. He's a great dude. He's a great dude. He's got great videos too. Yeah, Daniel, we are a cool group. I'm glad I met you and everyone else. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, Queen Latifah going after Josh. Yeah, UNITY. Yeah, exactly. Yep. What books you got this week? Oh man, you got to rewind the stream. You got to rewind the stream at this point. But actually, this week I didn't really have many. I had Grimm issue 14. I got The Madness on AWA Upshot, and I picked up a cover buy for Robin Hood on Zenoscope, just because there was this particular cover that I really liked. This particular cover I thought was pretty badass. And then I picked up a book on Scout Comics that I got to read called Beautiful Soldiers. So, yeah. That's the books I got this week. What about yourself, Eric? What'd you get? Punisher, Space Knight? Give the Punisher a Space Knight cyborg armor. Yeah, there you go. Or why not just make Frank Castle Moon Knight? I'm just kidding. Or what about Iron Man Moon Knight? You know, because then he could just have nanobots, and it would make sense that he has the enchanted suit. See, they could make it work. They could make it work here. They can make it work. Oh yeah, and there we go. Daniel Fisher dropped that link in there. Thank you so much, Daniel Fisher. Punisher by night, Punisher becomes a werewolf. Yeah, Daniel Fisher is awesome. Go subscribe to Mav. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Daniel Fisher is awesome, except for the time he failed me because he was on vacation. Fired. But you rehired. How How you liking Grimm? I dropped the floppies and picked up the graphic novels. I think it's been okay. I think it's, and I was talking about that before. It's one of those ones like it started off really good and then it kind of slowed down and then it started picking back up again. And I think that was because originally it was only planned to be like a 5 or 6 issue miniseries, and they decided to continue it. And I think that happens with almost every book that I've seen that ends up being like that, because I think Once in Future was that way. I think it was originally supposed to be a shorter story, and they decided to make it longer. And now it's kind of on an indefinite hiatus until they decide to come back and finish it up, because it didn't seem like it seemed like it finished where there was more going on. And I think Something is Killing the Children is another one of those too. I think it was originally planned to be a much shorter story, and then they decided to keep that one going too. And it's definitely, Something is Killing the Children has definitely had its lulls in there, but it still seems to keep coming back. James Tynion, in writing that story, has been telling a pretty good story. I really do like it. But yeah, Grimm. I think Grimm is probably Stephanie Phillips' best work that she's done that I've read in indie comics. I'm actually reading another book that she did called 8 Limbs right now as well. Basco, what's up, Basco Scenario? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing very well today. I seen you were live just a little bit earlier too. I seen it. You guys go check out Basco Scenario as well. Brian Mccann says Tomb of Punisher. Punisher gets a vampire's powers. Yeah. I got Vanish Volume 2, Grimm Volume 2. The Cryptidonals issue 3. Okay, yeah, I seen that came out. Cryptidonals. Ancient Enemies. First Responder. Did that come out this week? That's the Frank. Is that the Frank Miller book? Ancient Enemies. And all the Spawns. Okay. Oh, you probably picked up. Did you pick up some books from last week too? Because I don't remember seeing what came out Spawn this week. Oh, was it King Spawn? I think it was King Spawn this week, right? I think it was King Spawn. Yeah, but I should be back just in time on my birthday on the 27th. All right, Daniel Fish. All right, don't let it be an excuse not to be here to drop links though. Loving Loki season 2. How about you? Me? I mean, I think it's okay. I've talked about it before. Mike Porter. There's like 2 actors in there that really bring down the quality of the show with their acting abilities or lack of acting abilities. Yeah. I think the actor who plays B-15 and the girl who plays Sophie, they're just not like they're TV actors. And of course this is a TV show, so I guess I really have no grounds to stand on in saying that, but because it is a TV show and they got TV quality acting. I got Junkyard Joe. Oh, okay. Oh, the graphic novel. I was gonna say, has that come to an end yet, Junkyard Joe? Did that come to? I thought I couldn't remember if that one ended yet or not. But I've heard that was a good one. I know a lot of people liking that one. The Junkyard Joe. Punisher, God of the Blood Axe Castle, gets a godly upgrade. The Asgardian Blood Axe. There you go. See, I'm telling you, this guy needs to be. He needs to be writing. Get this man a notepad. Yes, it's Frank Miller book. Okay, yeah. It is pretty good. I picked up the stuff from the last month too. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of which, I mean, before I go, there's a lot of rumors about the MCU getting ready to reboot soon. Right? MCU is going to reboot soon. We were talking about that on Chillmonger's channel last week, the MCU reboot. And, I'm all for it. One of the things I even seen Leo Rydell was, he tweeted about earlier on Twitter. I shared his tweet is about them recasting Iron Man, Steve Rogers, T'Challa. And I'm okay with that. Because as much as I like these actors who portray these roles, I'm ultimately there for the character, not the actor. I like that there's actors there that I like their performance. Chris Evans to me is a great actor in that role of Captain America. Or RDJ definitely killed it with Iron Man, and obviously Chadwick Boseman killed it as T'Challa. but at the same time, I'm not so attached to those actors because I can see them in other movies that they need to play, and they're the only people that can play these comic book characters or these particular characters forever. I'm always down for recasting when it comes down to it. That doesn't mean that I'm always ready for a new version at any time. I mean, sometimes I feel like they leave things unfinished, and we kind of get that, like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. We know how that kind of ended. Really wish there would have been a better tie-up, but I'm also good with how they left it. You know what I mean? I'm good with how they left it. But yeah, soft reboot. Yeah, I don't know about that. But they could do just a soft reboot too. They could do a soft reboot. But as far as the Loki thing, I do think the Loki season 2, I mean, I think it's been slightly better than the first season was. Seems to have a little bit more relevant stuff happening in episode 2. Oh, you know what? And guys, I had this theory. For Loki season 2 as well. I should probably make a video about this. But I was watching that second episode, and you see Sophie is there at that McDonald's working, and the manager kid there, what's his name, Jack? Anybody have any suspicions who Jack is? I dropped it in the Denim Nerds chat the other day on what was that, yesterday? Talking about it. I just have this feeling that Jack from McDonald's in that universe that Sophie is in, I feel like Jack is a relevant character, just judging by the fact that they threw him in there at the very end of that episode, where she says, "Hey, is your you got a ride home, Jack, or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, my mother's coming for me." We walk off. I have a feeling that blonde-haired kid is Mobius. I have a feeling Jack is Mobius. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I just kind of feel it is, because I'm like, I feel like she probably came upon him because she probably ended up in that universe at that McDonald's, like probably ready to kill him. So then he wouldn't be after her in the TVA, and he's obviously kind of one of the main agents that we see the most of there. I kind of feel like she probably went there to, him, just like they were talking about Thanos. I have a feeling she went there to kill him, and she went there and she's seen him. She's like, man, like this kid actually seems all right, or maybe he's just lonely, or maybe whatever his issue is. And I feel like she probably took a liking to him. She became fond of him, and ended up staying there to keep an eye on him and see maybe exactly what point they come to get him and how things are. Or maybe if she can change that particular time line or that universe. But I have a feeling that Jack from McDonald's is Mobius. What do you guys think? Let's see. They should take a sabbatical for about 40 years. 40. I don't know. That's getting a bit long. But I mean, one of the things I was thinking about with the reboot of the MCU, I think what would be great is if they did do that reboot, and what they did is they came back with the universe, like whatever new universe they make for the reboot, because that's the easy way with like the multiverse thing that they're doing right now. It'd be an easy way to sort of reboot everything, is start it in a different universe. Maybe one of the characters or a couple of the characters go to this different universe, but then what they do in this universe is go with the more comic accurate versions of these characters and their stories, and it's more comic accurate, because then they can start at the very beginning. They were talking about possibly with this happening with Fantastic Four as well, but they could start at the very beginning of everything and have everything be more comic accurate. And so you basically start at the very beginning of the actual Marvel comics 616 and start with those stories and go on from there. And then you got so much that you can pull from, and so much that will seem familiar to the old fans of the movies of the MCU. They'll seem familiar, but then they're definitely what comic fans want. I know a lot of people out there talk about like, oh, I don't want the movies like the comic books, because then I just know what's going to happen. Yeah, you do. You can say that all you want, but yeah, you do. I guarantee you, if we actually seen the actual Infinity Gauntlet story on the big screen, people would be fucking blown away. any of these stories, like even like Ms. Marvel or the Captain America or the Iron Man or the Hulk, seeing all the origins of those stories, the way they went down the comics. Spider-Man, you know, I've come to the conclusion the one reason we won't get as great as Spider-Man from the comic books that they ever did is because you don't get any of the internal dialogue that Peter Parker has with himself throughout those books, man. Because there is a lot of internal dialogue that Peter Parker has that shows off a little bit more of who he is that you don't get in the movies. You know, you don't get it in the movies because, like, you know, while reading the comic books, like the old shit, man, like Peter Parker's kind of like he's kind of a spiteful little shit, but he's also a good kid at the same time. You know what I mean? Like he thinks these thoughts of like, you know, basically he's thinking like, fuck Flash Thompson, you know, fuck this guy. But then Flash Thompson actually gets caught by guy who I can't remember, all of a sudden it escapes me who he got caught by and taken hostage, and he's like, shit, man, I better go save this dude. Oh, it was Doom, wasn't it? Wasn't it Dr. Doom? Yeah, it was Dr. Doom. Because Flash Thompson dressed up in a Spider-Man outfit, Dr. Doom thought it was him and went and fucking kidnapped his ass, and he's like, oh shit. Like, you know, but he's like, haha, like, he's kind of like, yeah, fuck Flash, but he's like, man, I better go save this dude, man. Like, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons we won't get, you know, because that internal dialogue is a lot. The artist Mobius? No. I like the chemistry with Ki-Hu Kwan. Yeah. He's been pretty good. Punisher the Manhunter Castle goes against Black Panther and Craven powers. Yeah, there you go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Chin's loving it. Oh, man, that's funny. Punisher, the Beastman Punisher gets animal transformation powers. Oh, so he's gonna become Craven. He's gonna become Craven. Mobius, check his nose. That's mean, Mike Porter. You're just being mean spirited now. And could some of those body counts come close to that time with Venom, Brian Mccann? Yeah, right. Punisher, Agent Toxin symbiote. There you go. Ah, see, bro, I'm telling you. Get this man a notebook. Get this man a notebook. But guys, I want to thank you all so much for being here, listening to me flap my gums tonight. And, you know, let me, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for being here as well. Make sure you leave some comments down in the comment section. Make sure you give this video a like if you like it. And we'll see you all in the next video. I actually hit the button. We'll see you all in the next video. You all have a very good day, and we'll see you in the next video. That's what I meant to say. Later.